Yo, what's going on, guys? Gonna be showing you how to carry on ZAC Jungle here in preseason 13 with the best runes and build possible. Heart Still is no longer very strong. It's been over nerfed to where Radiant Virtue is what you want. It synergizes really well with your damage output while you're on your R. After you use your R, you and your allies within close proximity get much lower cooldowns on your non-ultimate abilities. And for ZAC, you get to W spam like crazy while you're on your R, picking up blobs and whatnot, to where it's a really good synergy. We're up against a strange matchup. Ezreal jungle, you don't see it very often. Usually it's Smurfs or Trolls, so we'll see which is which here. It plays a lot like a Kindred or a Graves. Against any jungler who wants to invade you, possibly level 2 with red buff, you need to start on your blue buff because they want to push red straight into your jungle. So we're going to start blue, go into Gromp. Ideally, we would get a leash, but we're not getting one, and we are about a second and a half late to our first camp because we recalled later than the 55-second mark. So yeah, anyways, you want to go for Radiant Virtue, typically into Sunfire, Aegis, into Demonic. The third item is situational, just depends on what you need to get the job done. So if you can get away with going damage because your team is tanky enough, then yeah, Demonic. Otherwise, Vistage or Thornmail does nicely. ZAC is one of the few tank junglers that can still utilize Thornmail to its maximum potential, because to apply maximum heal cut damage on Thornmail, you need to hard CC the enemies, and ZAC has lots and lots of hard CC. He has 3 hard CCs, and they're all AoE. His Qs can hit 2 targets, his E can hit 5, his R can hit 5 or more. It's pretty crazy. Your worst matchups on ZAC, it's basically just your decision making. You can't really solo a single jungler in the game. You're even going to get soloed by something like an Evelynn or an Amumu solo early game, to where you want to focus on clearing and ganking. There's not a single jungler that outscales ZAC for team fights, not even Master Yi's. ZAC is one of the best junglers in the game at stopping a funnel Master Yi. You have 3 AoE displacements, Q, E, and R, and no matter how much tenacity, QSS, or cleanse somebody has, those things do not interact with displacements. So you are really, really good versus hyper carries, Irelia, Jax, Master Yi's, to where they don't have a great answer to what ZAC's trying to do. Could have just smited the red buff, it's whatever. It's letting me pull these out quite a bit. You don't typically need to start with a potion on ZAC. We didn't even get a leash, and we're still able to do this all pretty much full HP here. Really, really close to full HP, no potion, no leash, finishing pre 3 minute 30, around 326-ish. They're taking the Skarner Spire. I don't know if I can even gank from my bot lane. They're kind of goofballs here. I would like to, though, since I'm already here. I already know they're taking Scuttle Crab because they're on the Spire. We have a little bit of time before we need to reset. They're missing, though. Weird. Alright, we'll go ahead and reset then. Go ahead and pick up Boots. And a Darksil. After Boots and Darksil, you want to go straight for Lucids. So ideally, first back, you get a Darksil plus Lucids. And then after you have tier 2 Boots plus Darksil, you want to go for Radiant Virtue, Sunfire, and then typically Demonic or Vistage. Heart Still isn't very viable anymore. Not only is it expensive, but it's been heavily over-nerfed on damage output and HP scaling. Just remember, focus on your full clears, then ganking. And that is your win count on ZAC, because his team fighting is kind of insane, and his scaling for a tank is really good as well. Even if they have Scuttle, if you hug the wall, they can't see you. At least from that angle. We'll go ahead and bop him with an E. We get the knock up into a Q. And down he goes. Mundo may want to actually push this since he's kind of low HP. If he was full HP, I wouldn't have bothered to shove this in while Skarner's dead. Since Mundo is kind of low and he probably wants to spend his kill gold, we'll help him out. Plus we get some XP out of it. We both get the majority of the total there. We'll head over mid lane. Gragas is looking thick and juicy. It's kind of hard to gank. Any champion that can snap your E out of midair, like Syndra stun, Syndra displacement, Ali headbutt, Alistar headbutt, Nautilus hook, any hooks in general, Tristana R, those type of things are really annoying for ZAC. The Gragas belly flop cancels your E super easily as well. It's displacements. There's very few abilities outside of displacements that actually cancel your dash. Very, very few. Vex Sphere is one of them. I believe Jinx traps do as well. But in general, snares, stuns, and fears do not cancel jumps. They just don't. There's very few that do, and it's arbitrary to give that champion an edge to sell more skins and make people feel like they're good on that champion, when in reality their champion breaks the physics of the game. But that's not what we're talking about here. The only people on their team who can cancel my E in mid-air is Gragas for a fact. I know he can. Ashstone, Luxnare can't. I'm not sure if Skarner R can. It might be able to while we're in mid-air. Oh, this is worded, dude. No way. Who wards this bush? Yeah, this is like obviously warded. For some reason, Ezreal's here. Yeah, this is warded 100%. We get the knock, but Rakan is roaming at the worst time possible here. He went to roam right when I went bot side. Such weird timing. I don't think I can really stay and do anything. I'm not level 6 either. Time to reset. Get Lucids. So report players' mental is a strange thing. It's hard to know what they're thinking. It's always hard to know. Getting everyone on the same page in League of Legends is a challenging thing. It had to be warded though. Ezreal's just standing there, waiting right there. There had to be a ward in the brush. Maybe that's why he was roaming. But he's roaming with no boots, so extremely ineffective. He just ends up dying, giving away golden XP. ZAC, you should be hitting level 6 pre 8-minute mark. If we didn't waste so much time bot, we would have hit it pre 7-minute 30, because we soaked some XP topside. Skarner's pretty low. We have passive to tank with. I could go for top lane here. Skarner top's a pretty bad pick. It's a weak tank, weak bruiser, weak engage, weak scaling. Hey, Ezreal. Alright. Still fishing for Qs. His E's on a cooldown, though. Auto attack into R. E auto R. W. Down he goes. I really shouldn't be taking this wave. We'll path back over for the E. Ezreal jungle isn't as good as it was at the start of the season. The jungle items have been nerfed heavily. Smack him against the turret. I'll flash out. We take the last shot, but also back out of the turret range as it ends. It will focus your bloblets, so make sure the core of your blobs aren't underneath the turret, otherwise you might die. The earlier it is in the game, the slower your bloblets come back together. So like in the late game, they're really fast, but early game they take their sweet time. So if the core of your blobs are underneath turret range, you will probably die. Unless you have a teammate tanking for you who didn't drop aggro. Normally on ZAC, when your passive is up, you take the aggro because you can just walk out of turret range on the last shot. That's gonna pop your passive. That's what makes him one of the best turret divers in the game. If his passive is up, he can match things like Elise dives, Master Yi dives, stuff like that. So much raw tank ability. Hey, Gragas. We get his flash. Oh, he still had flash. Not only did he kill Rakan, but he still had his flash after killing Rakan. Sheesh. That was a... you didn't really even have to outplay him then. Because a lot of the times, you'll get cheesed by a flash play. If they didn't even use flash, it took one player to just grossly miscalculate something and die in that way, 1v2. Still need to be mixing in autos. Don't just stand there and W. As you're moving to pick them up, you need to be weaving in autos whenever your autos are ready. I don't know if this is warded or not. Rakan's about to... Oh, nice. Rakan soaked it. Push him into turret. Spam W's. I'll smite him. I want the gold. I also have Dark Sill, so I kind of need the stacks as well. I don't trust my bot lane at all. Kai'Sa's permadying, and this Rakan's not trustworthy. If you find that's the case in your game, typing at your teammates or typing to them doesn't do any good. Just communicate with pings. Knowing your teammates' capabilities shouldn't be a tool for you to flame them in game. It's just for your own benefit, so you don't end up putting yourself in a situation where you're having to rely on them for something to happen. In terms of what beats ZAC in the late game, it's pretty much just Vayne. Because even with true damage on Fiora, Olaf, and well, who else has true damage? Think of any champion that has true damage. They're not an issue other than Vayne, because she has max health true damage, and it's ranged, so you can't even hit her. Whenever you try to land your CC on Vayne, which is all your CC are skill shots, for the most part, she tumbles, she goes invisible. You can never hit Vayne unless she goofs. She kills you with a couple of auto attacks. On Master Yi, you can triple CC him. You can't attack for over 3 seconds and you and your team kill him. But against Vayne, there really is no counterplay, as sad as that is. Oh, nice. I shortened it. Rakan is coming here. I don't have R, though. Ooh, I can get the Q slam. Rakan gets the charm. Or maybe he didn't. I don't know if he did there. And then I end up soaking the R. It's unfortunate. Let's pick up these bloblets. R's back up. Passive's down. We can't afford Radiant Virtue, so recalling here wouldn't make a lot of sense. Since ZAC is such a gank-heavy jungler, especially once he's 6, having tier 2 boots and Dark Seal plays really well into that playstyle. With that being said, yes, you do full clear gank before you're level 6, because every point you get into your E helps your ganks out a lot. Your E, with only 1 or 2 levels in it, is actually kind of crap for ganking. We land it, Q him against turret, pop him with R. We didn't need the R damage, it's whatever though. I don't need to lay Herald for this. We have the minions, and Mundo has very high 80, the lower on health he is. We'll smite him in midair for the slow, Q the minion, auto him. Whenever you have the choice of queuing a champion or autoing them with your Q, always choose to auto them, because your Q's a skill shot. The minions aren't going to dodge your Q, and then you can just auto the champion with it, especially if you have them slowed with smite. You can walk them down. Got Radiant Virtue, maxed out Dark Seal. We could press that into the mesh here soon. Their most fed damage output on their team is Gragas and Ashe. Next item, I'm thinking Demonic. Our front line's already big enough. If I was the only tank for the team, I would go for a Thornmail at this point to cripple the Ashe and the Ezreal. But since we also have the Mundo with the Rakan, I think I can get away with going more damage. It should play quite nicely. Playing ZAC full AP is extremely risky. It is viable, but like I said, extremely risky. Especially if they have different abilities to hard counter your E, such as Vex Sphere, or the Jinx Snare that knocks you out of the air, or displacement such as hooks, or knockups, knockbacks. Because on AP ZAC, you rely even more off of your E landing. If it doesn't, you die because you have no way to get out and you're squishy. But on tank ZAC, even if you miss it, you're still usually tanky enough to walk out, or they can't focus you down fast enough to kill you before your teammates can save you. AP ZAC is a glass cannon. Even if they're junglers here, I don't really care. I'm pretty fed right now. Oh, I don't know why these guys are being so aggressive here. I don't think they can really fight us. Yeah, Ezreal's landing his stuff, but what is that gonna do when we jump him down? Get him with a W and the Q. I still have passive as well, and R. Down he goes. Ezreal jungle's okay right now. It's too early gold reliant though. If his initial gank doesn't pan out, it slows him down so much and he has trouble starting to scale. Speaking of scaling, I haven't been farming at all. The biggest downside to not farming in this meta is you delay your jungle item completing it. Wow, Zed just got absolutely crushed there. Absolutely crushed. I wasn't expecting him to get soloed there. Maybe Gragas is a bad matchup. We can defend turret. ZAC is one of the best turret defenders in the game. Hands down. As long as you have enough points in your E to reach. Nice, nice, nice. 2 of them bot side. We can go defend that. Whenever you see your teammates are dead or low on health, that's when you know you can probably get a huge turret defense with E. Push him into turret with your R. Your R is basically a tiny alley headbutt. I need vision. Oh, they have vision of me. That sucks. Got him with smite. We could probably block his oof. That's not good. Lux is dead. She just finished herself. I'm gonna go for the Ashe though. So Ashe actually had flash or whatever. Down they go. We get the bot back. Your R animation takes about half a second to go off, so you can press R and then flash behind them and push them into your teammates like I did there. I probably didn't need to, but I felt like it. Wanted them to suffer for trying to focus me. Put the fear of ZAC in him. Oh, he's mid right now. I don't want to lose that turret. Question is, can we get there in time before the minions die and he backs up? And the answer is kind of. Now we want to let him step up, get into turret range so we have maximum time to get on top of him. Just like so. And ideally you want to also get it on the minions. I would smite the minion here, but there's too many. Yeah, we didn't even get any of the turret damage for him. If I had an R, we could have wiped the minions and CC'd him at the same time. Down he goes. Definitely push for Mej here. Play drag soul heavy. I don't have... I have such low CS, man. 90 CS. Sheesh. Just like with any jungler on ZAC, you don't want to be ganking if you don't think it's going to be a kill. You have to be super confident that not only is it going to be a kill, but if the enemy jungler shows up, you and your teammates aren't going to get wiped. This game, I've had lots of gank opportunities because the enemies are playing way overly aggressive. And, or my teammates have been setting up the ganks. In situations where you don't see a gank, just finish the full clear. Then you can look for anywhere 30 seconds to a minute, reset, and guess what? You have another full clear. Hey, Ezreal. Oh, he smited it. That's hilarious. Hey, Ashe. I think Gromp's focusing here, and Gromp does a lot of damage. Gromp does around 100 damage per auto attack. It's pretty crazy. Hey, Ezreal. I have nothing to auto him against. Could have queued the Gromp, tried to auto him, but he already had so much distance. Oh, nice Jukes Lux. As you try to walk through Kaisa to dodge my E. Very nice, very nice. Is Greg gonna get another solo kill here? No, he is not. Ooh, oh, I wanted to hit it. Get it with a W. He didn't knock me out of the air. He fucked up. He really should have. It would have at least forced my passive that way. He still would have died. But it's just one of those things. ZAC's really good at turret dives. If you land your E, the dive is almost guaranteed success because you can land E, then Q. If you miss your E, then you'll probably miss your Q. Everything hinges on the E landing. We miss the E, but we get the Q. Down he goes. Let's pick up the Bloblets. Radiant Virtue feels so good. Hey, friends. You guys don't have flashes. You already wasted the flashes. That's when having Thornmail would have been nice. Couldn't quite execute on the Ashe. I slammed Lux against a minion instead of on the Ashe because I think my Q hit a minion initially. Alright, we gotta just leave. We're sitting on way too much gold here. I just need a little bit more to buy what I'm trying to buy. I want to be able to get Mej and Demonic in the same reset here. Alright, it's time to leave. Demonic's going to cost 2,500. Mej is going to be 1,200. So yeah, we can afford everything. Still don't have jungle item finished 20 minutes in. Ezreal has his finish. He's been farming a little bit more than me. Let's grab the Mej. Mej is sick on ZAC. Really, really sick. Because if they're focusing you to kill you, if you're positioning correctly, they'll guaranteed lose the fight. So tanky, especially with passive and aftershock. On top of that, gives you movement speed, so it helps you to stay on top of them when you're inside of your R. Your R itself is a huge speed up. It is a 50% movement speed up. Having an extra 10% doesn't hurt. Constant 10%. No clue what happened to my AD carry there. That was weird. Just got ensnared and Baron killed her. Get the knock up. Push him towards my minions, and down he goes. We already have top inhib, so we don't need to be here. It's not important. There's nothing left to get over there. Gragas is staying because he sees Zed on a ward. He's hoping Zed tries to cheese brush. He's got to play for drag souls. Hey, Ezreal. I must have been on a ward. Lux reacted really fast there. Bruh, Lux was really, really fast. I had to eat early so Gragas didn't knock us out of the air. I know his teammates are there, so I can't engage on it. I'm going to get snared and then Ashe permaslowed. Should be Dragon at least. Yeah, it's a lot of stats. Hey, Ezreal, we get the knock up in the queue, smite him for the slow. Then we can take our time picking up bloblets. I wouldn't have picked him up, but Kaisa was underneath turret, didn't want her to get shredded. Hey, Ashe. Whoa, she died fast. We'll R flash behind her. We get the angle. Knock up the Gragas. Try to pick up some bloblets. Smite, W, down he goes, and I still have passive. ZAC can definitely carry, guys. You just have to focus on what he's good at, which is team fighting and ganking and clearing. He's not good at soloing, especially pre-6. He can't really solo anyone. His damage output's too low, and he's too skill shot heavy in a solo fight where they can see you. Plays best hiding in the shadows and striking when they least expect it. To top this off, we go for Thornmail. Probably Randuin's. Can even go for a Moggs. Hey, Lux. Knock up in the queue for the slow. Down she goes. My R is on cooldown. Like, the right move here is Dragon, because we're kind of waiting on super minions here anyways. Hey, Gragas. We get the kill with W. Oh, Ashe hurts. These guys are really confident. Get the knock up. Down he goes. Look at all these blobs. They're about to lose the game. 100%. Alright, never mind. They're playing on Fountain. Hey, Lux. We get the bounce behind her. Pick up blobs with R. And there's our passive proc. Ezreal couldn't make it back to Fountain, and I can Q Ashe and pull her off of Fountain. Into an E, down she goes. ZAC is a whole lot of fun, guys. Just remember, full clear gank, full clear gank. Do not try to solo the enemy jungler. And try to stay alive to keep your Dark Souls up, and maybe you can get a Mej. Let's look at damage dealt, damage taken. Looking at damage dealt enemy champions, we have the second most in the game. It's tank meta, baby, JK. It's only tank meta if the enemy team doesn't have a bunch of true damage champs or max health damage champs, which they didn't. Ashe, Lux, Ezreal have 0 max health damage in their kit. And I'm not sure about Gragas or Skarner. They may or may not. And if they do, it's not the primary damage dealing ability in their kit. And if it is, it clearly wasn't doing much because look at their damage output. So if they had champs like Vayne, Fiora, Zyra with double max health burn, Brand with double max health burn items, Teemo with double max health burn items, it could have helped turn the tide. But if they don't have max health damage in their kit or their items, tanks are the meta in that situation. All right, damage taken. Second most in the game behind Mundo. Look at him. He's turning us into the number 2 here. Let's look at healing. Maybe we can beat him there. Healing done. Suck it, Mundo, baby. Look at that healing. For runes, a really high value. Build, really high value. Don't go Heart Still anymore. It's been over nerfed because there's just certain champions who could use it too effectively. I don't think it's ever going to come back into the meta for very long because it's an infinite scaling item, which there are really not any in the game. Even Mesh doesn't infinitely scale. It peaks at 25 stacks, so yeah. Virtue, definitely the way to go. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Kingsticks. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.